My name is Athanasios Velios, and I'm reader in documentation. I'm also the co-director of the Ligatus Research Center, and I'm also chairing the research degree subcommittee at the college. My current area of research has to do with the combination of documentation and the idea of the event. I come from a conservation background, and I've been working with archives as well. And a lot of the documentation systems that are being used in museums and galleries and archives focus on the object rather than the event. Now, I see the object as the evidence of events. I think the event is the sort of the critical representation of history, as it were. So what I've been trying to do lately is to see how the idea of the event can fit within documentation systems in museums and archives, and sort of try and shift that culture from the object to the event. Now, recently, I've been involved with a community of researchers who work on something called the CIDOC-CRM. It's a conceptual reference model that tries to describe interactions within cultural heritage institutions. It is the interaction with that group that really led me to follow that path of the event as the core aspect of documentation within conservation. And we have developed a thesaurus that can be used to describe bookbinding as in objects, but also bookbinding as in the process. And that thesaurus is, I think, quite pivotal in the whole research around historic bookbinding. And I think that in the next few years, a lot of new projects will come out of that resource. So I'm really excited to see how other people will start using it. We've had some very interesting case studies from outside the university. So I can see that escalating, really. So it's going to be very interesting to following that project through. Another project that I'm quite excited about is a project called Artivity, which has to do with the documentation of digital art practice. And this is a project that has been funded by JISC, as part of their research data spring call. And what we've done with that project is we've developed some software that allows us to capture the creation of digital art on the computer. And because a lot of the related research and the execution of the actual process to build the digital artwork, it all happens within the computer. We can automate the process of documentation by producing some software to capture key moments, key events, as it were, within that process. Now, this project is at the moment at almost a testing phase. We've finished with the first round of development, but we're going to ask a number of artists to test the software for us, and when this is done and we'll improve it, we're hoping to unroll that piece of software to the whole of the university's network, so that all researchers can start documenting their work using that software. So this is more of a sort of experimental project, but I'm quite keen to see how it's going to develop.